Unbelievable. Princess Leonor captures Spain's heart before royal wedding. Spain was ready. The country was buzzing with excitement. The royal wedding was near. Then, something happened. Something that no one expected. Princess Leonor captured the heart of Spain in a single moment. It wasn't a speech. It wasn't a grand ceremony. It was a gesture so pure, so emotional, that it left millions talking. What did she do? And why is this moment being called the defining act of her journey to the throne? It began in Madrid, under the watchful eye of the press and the eager anticipation of a nation. Days before the royal wedding, Leonor stepped out of the palace with little fanfare. She wasn't flanked by photographers. She wasn't wearing a ceremonial gown. Instead, she was seen walking quietly into a small plaza. Children played nearby, families were gathered, and few even noticed her at first. But then, people realized who she was. The future Queen of Spain, walking alone, without guards pressing back the crowd. Witnesses say Leonor stopped, knelt to speak with a group of young children, and smiled as she listened to their questions. One little girl offered her a small flower, and Leonor accepted it, placing it carefully in her hair. Cameras caught that moment, and within hours, it was everywhere. A future queen, humble, approachable, completely present. This was not protocol. This was not rehearsed. This was personal. But what made the moment truly remarkable was what came next. Instead of returning to the palace, Leonor walked to a nearby nursing home, surprising the residents and staff. She shook hands, hugged elderly citizens, and even sat down to share a short conversation with one woman who remembered her father, King Felipe, as a boy. This encounter left many in tears. One witness said, "She wasn't just a princess that day. She was one of us." News spread like wildfire. Social media exploded with posts praising Leonor's authenticity. Headlines read, "The People's Princess of Spain." Commentators compared her to her mother, Queen Letizia, who was known for breaking with stiff traditions and bringing warmth into royal life. Some even said Leonor reminded them of Princess Diana, a royal who captured hearts around the world with her humanity. But was this spontaneous, or carefully planned? Palace insiders revealed that Leonor had requested this private outing months earlier. She wanted to connect with ordinary citizens before she took the biggest step of her life. She reportedly said, "I cannot become queen if I do not walk among the people I am meant to serve." This quote, if true, is now being repeated across Spain as a sign of her readiness to rule. This moment also carried a quiet message to Spain's critics of the monarchy. In recent years, debates about the relevance of the crown have intensified. Younger generations have questioned whether the monarchy still represents them. Leonor's gesture seems to answer that question. She is not hiding in the palace. She is meeting the people where they are, listening to their concerns, showing them that the next monarch will be one of them. As the wedding day approaches, this act has created even more curiosity. What kind of queen will Leonor be? Will she continue this tradition of closeness and emotional honesty? Or will palace advisors eventually push her back into a more controlled, distant role? Royal experts say this will be one of the defining questions of her reign. Meanwhile, the public cannot get enough of this story. Videos of Leonor's surprise visit are being shared by millions. Comment sections are full of admiration, with Spaniards saying this was the moment they truly embraced her as their future queen. Even international media outlets have picked up the story, with coverage in the UK, Denmark, and the US calling it a masterclass in royal connection. But there's another layer. Behind closed doors, palace insiders hint that not everyone was pleased. Some traditionalists believe Leonor is taking risks by stepping too far outside protocol before such a major royal event. They argue that the royal family's power lies in its mystique, in its distance from everyday life. If a queen becomes too relatable, they say, she risks losing the aura of authority. This tension has reportedly created intense debates inside the palace. And yet, those who know Leonor best say this is who she has always been. From her teenage years, she has been described as empathetic, attentive, and quietly determined. Unlike some royals who struggle with the weight of expectation, Leonor seems to carry it with grace, but also with a desire to be real. The gesture also carried symbolism. The flower she placed in her hair was said to represent peace and unity, a subtle nod to the challenges facing Spain as a country. This is not just a wedding for Leonor. It is a moment that may shape the monarchy's future for decades. The emotional impact cannot be overstated. In a single afternoon, Leonor turned what could have been a routine pre-wedding schedule into a moment of national reflection. People are asking themselves, is this the start of a new era? Is Spain about to see a queen unlike any before her? As we count down to the wedding, the excitement is no longer just about the dress, the ceremony, or the guest list. It is about the woman behind the crown. The princess who took time to speak to children and comfort the elderly. The future queen who reminded her nation that royalty can have a heart. And when Leonor walks down the aisle, millions will be watching not just as spectators but as participants in this journey. They have seen her humanity, and now they are ready to follow her into the next chapter of Spain's royal story. Because what Leonor did was more than symbolic. It was transformative. She captured the heart of Spain, and perhaps secured the future of the monarchy, not with power, not with politics, but with a single, unforgettable act of kindness. And that is why this moment will be remembered long after the wedding bells have stopped ringing. It was the day a princess became more than a royal figure. It was the day she became the beating heart of her nation.